Alright, what's up ladies and gentlemen, it's Super here and welcome to another Mortal Kombat video. So we're about 18 seconds away from the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection panel. So I'm here to react to it, watch it with you guys pretty much. So one thing before we get started, Mortal Kombat Trilogy was announced to be in the collection, which is awesome. Everyone's going to be able to play the broken noob Cybot, and that's all we know so far. So let's check this out.
Head over to our guests. We have a video to show you.
Ooh,
let's check it out.
Hell yeah, a video right from the start. It might actually be the trailer that they uploaded earlier showing off.
We knew pretty early on that the game
Trilogy?
People were excited about it.
Or is this the original?
The most rewarding.
Oh, this is just the original trailer that we already saw. All right. So anyway, there's I think 4 mystery like question marks, and one of them is Mortal Kombat Trilogy. So I'm very happy that that one is going to be in the collection because it's the one that I own on PlayStation. And based on what someone said on Twitter, I'm pretty sure that the version of Trilogy that's going to be in the collection is going to be the PlayStation version. I don't know if there's more, because there's N64, PlayStation, but PlayStation is the one that they had at Evo. So I don't know if there's going to be an N64 version or anything like that, but here we go. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection panel. Can't wait to hear what they say. Hopefully they announce another game. They do still have 2 other stops, so I don't think we're going to get another announcement, but hopefully, fingers crossed.
Every part of that game is an expression.
We already watched this, so I'll put more volume once they actually start the panel. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection 2025. So I saw someone say that it's coming out December 12th.
Hey, what's up, Evo?
All right, here we go.
Give me a little hype back there. Anyone at the Atari booth back there? Anyways, didn't hear anything. I'm Ethan Stearns.
I did hear something. I heard
work
crickets.
At Atari. Anyone out there have an Atari or play Atari? This guy right here, 2600 lover over here. I see him down in front, 7800. Nice. I'm really excited to be here. I've watched Evo many years from home and never had an opportunity to be here, so it's kind of surreal to be sitting on the stage talking to everybody. I'm here with 2 amazing men from
This is the first Evo that I'm missing in the last like 4 years, I think.
I'll have you guys introduce yourselves.
Hi, everybody. My name is Stephen Frost. I am the head of production at Digital Clips, which is just a fancy way of saying I have my fingers in all of our products.
Yay.
And just trying to make the best products possible.
Hopefully this is a
I've
good
been at
collection.
Digital Clips for now, I think 9 years. And before then, I was at Sega working on a certain Hedgehog game for a while.
I heard that they
other
have really
things.
good
but
collections
excited
whenever they
to
release
talk to
one.
a little bit more about our wonderful Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection.
All right,
And I'm Dan
prepared.
Emmerich. I am also at Digital Eclipse, so I've only been there for about 3 years. But, I think the only thing relevant about what matters to this room was anybody that ever read GamePro magazine. I was the guy that sent in the explanation of the Dullard code for Mortal Kombat that got printed. So that's my fighting game claim to fame.
That's a good
I'm
claim to fame.
terrible at the game, but I'm good at putting in the Dullard code.
Amazing. Written into history right there, literally.
That is true.
All right, before we get into the panel, we have one more trailer we want to play that premieres a couple things that we're announcing today.
Ooh. Is this going to show more than Trilogy?
Early on that the game was fun to play.
Oh, I think this was the Trilogy one, right?
It became something that added to the mystique of Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat Trilogy. My young nephew sat on my PlayStation while Mortal Kombat Trilogy I was playing Mortal Kombat Trilogy on PlayStation. So when he sat on the PlayStation, it scratched up the disc and it never worked again.
MK Trilogy!
I cried for days.
Let's go!
You wanted it, you got it.
I cried for days,
All right,
guys.
so,
And this
my
was back in
question here for
Honduras,
you
and we
now,
had to come back
Frosty,
here to
is,
the States.
why
Cried
are
the whole way.
What are we here doing at Evo? Of course, the trailer just kind of gave that away, but what are the 2 things that we're here for today?
There's a couple things. Obviously, the biggest announcement, one of our secret games that we've been holding back is Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
Yes.
We're excited to include that title in this collection. It's obviously a fan favorite. We love it internally at Digital Eclipse, and it's exciting for us to be able to not only include it, but also try to fix a few things, improve a few things on it as well for fans. The other big announcement, of course, that you saw at the end of that teaser trailer is the physical release of the product. So we are releasing physical. There's a couple different variations of it too. There's a deluxe version and there's a collector's edition. And I'm especially excited about the collector's edition because it comes with a Goro controller holder, which Goro fans out there.
I saw that one.
I know there's a
I
few
saw it on
Goro
Twitter.
fans out there.
I saw a lot of the contents from the editions on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting to see, obviously, the items and the things come together for the physical collection, and hopefully we've included a lot of stuff that fans will really appreciate and dig.
Yeah, it's exciting. The deluxe edition, we've got a lot of little
By the way, how many new Cybots are we going to see online on Mortal Kombat Trilogy?
Marquees,
infinite
some really
amount.
cool stuff. If anyone's interested, they can go to Atari.com. I'm sure it'll be on our front page. We also have some like day one pre-order incentives where you get custom like sleeves for it if you're a big MK collector like we are up on stage.
If you love Reptile or Scorpion or Sub-Zero, we have specific slip cases that you can buy for those games.
I saw those too. They look pretty dope.
So
Smoke,
I think it's interesting
Reptile,
being here at
Sub-Zero,
Evo.
Scorpion.
You know, we live.
They don't have
oftentimes
Ermac, though,
in the
I
retro
think.
communities,
don't
both
think I
Digital
saw
Eclipse
Ermac.
and Atari. So maybe not a lot of people know about Digital Eclipse and the work that you guys do. Can you talk a little bit about why Digital Eclipse should be making this game? What's special about your approach to this?
Sure. There's a lot of reasons, but I think the main thing for those who don't know about Digital Eclipse, we're a studio. We're currently housed in Emeryville, California, just a shy shot away from Pixar. And the studio was originally founded way back in 1992, eons ago. And our claim to fame was we were some of the first folks to do retail emulation, so actually emulation for arcade games in a retail setting. And that was before really emulation was even a thing. The internet was barely a thing back at that point. And since then, we have continued to build upon our emulation chops, but really also transition into hopefully leading the way in relation to game preservation. It's a big thing from our studio and just our individuals who work there in its entirety. The industry has lost a lot of games and IPs over the years because there wasn't necessarily a lot of forward thinking as far as preservation and saving content.
Can we get some
materials.
preservation of the 3D era
with our
games,
efforts,
please? I would
also
really
partnering
appreciate
with
that.
a lot of these bigger companies, people are starting to think more about preserving those design documents and concepts and things like that. As we've continued to evolve, we've really started to not only focus on making sure that the emulations that we create for these games and platforms is as accurate as possible so that fans can play older titles on modern platforms, but it's also to provide more of a historical context for these games, why you should care about it. Because, you know, throwing a bunch of games onto a disc and giving it to someone with no context, it's fine if you're a fan of those games, but if you aren't a fan or you're a casual fan, there's nothing to guide you, right? There's no reason for you to understand what you should play and why you should play it and why you should care. And a lot of these games really were the things that started this industry or started genres and things like that. And it's important for even current generations to really understand where things came from. So we really focus now, especially coming from an editorial background. A lot of us came from an editorial background. Dan did, I did, a lot of the folks. So we approach our collections from an editorial perspective in that, what is the story that we're trying to tell here? What are we trying to show people and explain to people? And then when we come up with that, that's how we utilize all the assets, such as the games, the art, development materials.
I want to see those documentaries. They have like documentaries
and
where they,
so it's important for us
more,
to,
like,
even if you're a
interviews with
hardcore
Ed Boon
fan or a casual fan of the IP, in this case Mortal
people
Kombat,
who worked
that you
on
go
the,
into this
old
product
games.
and you leave with a much better understanding and appreciation for what it took to create this IP and why it's great and why you should care. I don't know if you have anything else you want to add to that.
No, I
Dan.
mean that is very much the core of it. Is there is a story to be told about the history of Mortal Kombat and its evolution. And early on, we kind of realized that one of the things that makes Mortal Kombat so special is that people saw video games differently after Mortal Kombat came out. Like, video games were just toys, right? Like, you got them in Toys R Us. And then here comes this thing that challenges everybody's perceptions of what a game can be. And society at large had to step back and go, wait, what is this? How do we deal with this? And that opened up a lot of doors for the next 30 years. So that's intrinsic to the story that we're telling. We are telling that story with an interactive documentary. We have exclusive interviews. We have some amazing historical like photos and documents and things like that to share, similar to projects that we've done in the past. But I've been really, really excited to go over and find some of these things. I know this exists, and then somebody will go like, oh, I have it in my closet, and they send it to us or they scan it for us. So it's really, hopefully, obviously the games are the biggest draw, but I'm really hoping that people are going to enjoy, when they want to break from the games, digging in and finding out some of the truly amazing stories of how these games came to be.
So speaking of the games, we talked a little bit about Trilogy. Can you elaborate any more, Dan, on like why Trilogy and why it's special?
Yeah, sure. I mean, for those of you who don't know, Mortal Kombat Trilogy was sort of the kitchen sink version of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. It was developed at the end of the 2D cycle of Mortal Kombat. So 3 and Ultimate had come out, and the idea was hatched, let's just put every single character that's ever been in any game in Mortal Kombat in one penultimate version, right? Like the ultimate version, not the penultimate version. But, and so because it was a home game only, a lot of people spent hundreds of hours with it. This is their Mortal Kombat.
Right,
it's a very strong emotional bond to the game that you have played that much, right? And I come from the arcade, so I step up to any Mortal Kombat game, I need a fight stick or else I'm useless. I'm still kind of useless, but I need a fight stick to blame it on anyway. And Trilogy, as soon as we announced Legacy Collection, that was the number one thing that we saw. Like, oh, you're going to include Trilogy, right? You got to include Trilogy. It was evident from the beginning that this was critical for people, because that was the game, that was my Mortal Kombat game. Everybody has one, but a lot of people bonded with Mortal Kombat over Mortal Kombat Trilogy. So knowing that there's an emotional bond there, we faced a technical challenge, which was we've never emulated PlayStation before. This is the first time in a Digital Eclipse product that we're going to be able to emulate a PlayStation version. And in looking at the code, there were things that could be optimized. There's load times. Obviously, some of that is inherent to the game. But
Shang Tsung's morphs.
Shang Tsung's morphs is the perfect example of this. In the original PlayStation version, you would morph and it would like pause the game while it loads that character from the disc. We don't have to sit through that anymore. So our version is actually better than you remember. Nice. Shang Tsung morphs work the way that you would expect them to, or the way that you remembered that they were, that they actually weren't, but you believe that they should have been.
I never used Shang Tsung, but I've seen footage.
So we're really looking forward to people playing Trilogy, especially knowing they have that bond with it. It literally is better than you remember it to be, because we've been able to improve some of the things that have gone unchecked for 30 years.
And we have it playable at the Atari booth here if you're here at EVO on the floor. So come by. We have it on Switch 2 as well as a PC build. We're going to have some creators coming by the booth today and tomorrow. If you want to challenge a creator, see if you can show
I want to see
your
some exhibition matches.
So we'll have that at the booth if anyone's interested in playing it. I had another question for you, Dan. I mean, we kind of talked about
what are the other games? Ask them. Just ask them. I know you want to.
Content that goes on to these collections that Digital Eclipse produces.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit more about like what is your process for that, and then like what can we expect on in the Legacy Collection?
Sure, I can talk a little bit about this because we're not quite ready to reveal too much about this. But when we start a project, our editorial director Chris Kohler, he helps me build the story. That's what my actual job is, content editor, right? So I've helped write and gather a lot of the research on this project. And I go way back with the franchise to when I was in the press in the 90s. So this is actually very special for me. But we look at what materials do we have? What's the story that we want to tell? We identify that early. And then it's an awful lot of research, calling old developers. What do you have in your garage? There was an earlier project where I offhandedly asked an Atari developer for Atari 50, you don't have any of this stuff, do you? He goes, yeah, I have a box in my garage. He literally produced 50 documents of hand-drawn stuff for a vector game that nobody had ever seen. So there's a lot of detective work. There's a lot of calling. There's a lot of like, do you happen to still have any old photos? Thankfully, NetherRealm had some archives. So, and then they were able to point us to other people that had personal archives. So a lot of what we do is research-based and very, very fact-checking. We really do sweat the details. We're not just ripping images off of the internet and saying, we found this thing, you know. So, you know, hopefully you will see some of that effort in what we wind up doing. But yeah, it's a very lengthy process. We've been working on the documentary part for at least 7 months now, like hardcore. Wow. We got to go to Chicago. NetherRealm was very nice, opened their doors. We got to speak the original dev
missed
team.
my
We
chance
got to
to go
speak
to
to additional
Chicago
people
once to go
like
visit
Eugene
NetherRealm.
Jarvis and Roger Sharp, and you're going to see interviews with them as well as other people that are notables in the Mortal Kombat community who really helped shine a light on what makes this franchise so special.
Sure.
Yeah, it's been a great pleasure to work with NetherRealm, and thanks to them being interviewed. I think we interviewed almost 25 different people. We have almost 3 hours of new documentary footage videos. It's the most that we've ever included in any of our past collections. So, you know, regardless of your level of Mortal Kombat fandom, there's going to be immense amount of content and behind the scenes stuff to go through and interviews to watch for sure.
Cool.
Huh.
So just as a recap, we have Trilogy playable at our booth. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection will be coming out later this year. Physical got announced today, so you can
that
pre-order
December
today
release date
all those
wasn't
physical
real?
editions that we
I
talked
could have
about.
sworn I saw it in like a screenshot for the website
collection consists
post.
of MK1, 2, 3, Ultimate 3, 4. There are some additionals that we've announced. And in addition to the arcade versions of those games, we also have a lot of the home console versions, some handheld versions if you want to play MK1 Game Boy Edition. That will be on the collection.
It's going to be so weird. I'm definitely playing those weird-ass ones, too.
In addition to all the documentary material that Dan spoke about. And it will be coming out later this year.
Yep. And lastly, obviously, we're adding a lot of quality of life improvements to these games for all of you fans. Access to the dip switch settings, access to all of the hidden menus and secrets that would normally you'd have to type in a code, dullard or whatever. You can still do that, but we don't want a situation where fans, especially casual ones, have to say, oh, what's this deal with Reptile in Mortal Kombat? How do I play Reptile? You can learn how to play them in the collection, but then you can also just go into the options of Mortal Kombat and flip a switch that says, I want to play against Reptile, and then you'll jump into a Reptile. It's basically no more secrets. We want this game and this collection to have all the features and accessibility for fans
I
of all
doubt that
types.
they're going to put a training mode
and so that when
in
you
there.
finish and you go through this collection, you really have a deeper and full understanding of all of these games, and obviously the early years of Mortal Kombat.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me up here. Thank you, guys, at EVO for having us. We're really excited
that's it
to
for
bring
the
this
panel.
game to you.
Right.
And come by the booth and say hi.
Prepare yourself.
All right, that's it with the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection panel. Other than Mortal Kombat Trilogy, there's nothing really else that was announced. So I wish they would have talked a little bit more about, maybe one other game announced or something like that, but that's not the case. It was cool to hear the process of putting this thing together, though. 7 months of research already is pretty crazy. I really don't think there's going to be a training mode, because if not, they would have probably brought it up by now. So we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and learn through playing the very easy CPU until 3 fights in, when even the very easy CPU turns into a nightmare. All right, guys, that's going to be it. Let me know what you guys think. Mortal Kombat Trilogy is going to be included in the Legacy Collection, but wanted to upload the panel just in case you guys missed it. And that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.